Now that I am done continuing my lines, I want you to notice it's not as easy to find my square as it was before. The square is kind of hidden. Now, if I bring this in, I want you to show you something. Do you remember how I went off the side of this edge? So I don't even know if you can see the edge right here. The edge of the paper is like right there. So what I did is I just continued these lines and I connected them back up. So it just looked like a continuation. Same thing over here. I made a couple little errors here, but right in there. Now, your next thing that you are going to do is you are going to be thinking about color theory. So we want to take a look at the different color schemes that you have. Here we have the color wheel, and you have this handout to work with. And so you want to think about what color scheme would you like to do? A primary color scheme, a secondary color scheme. You could use tertiary colors. You could use warm colors. You can use cool colors. These are monochromatic. These means tints, tones, and shades of one color. So here we have oranges and reds. In this we have greens. So you can do blues, you can do violets, yellows. Here we have analogous colors. Analogous colors are colors that are next door to one another on the color wheel. We have complementary colors, which are colors that are opposite one another on the color wheel. So I would kind of work with these types of color schemes. Now here's an example of one piece that is not finished, but you can see how it got started. Notice this is a little bit simpler. This is a little more complex. So notice that I have warm colors and I have cool colors. Once you use a color scheme on a set of lines, you may not repeat that color scheme. I could do yellows and I could do primary colors in here if I wanted to, but I can't repeat the warm colors over here. Once I use that particular color scheme, I have to change to a different color scheme. Now here's one that's finished, that again looks even different. So I have warm colors here. I used complementary colors here. I used cool colors, or actually monochromatic colors, so different values of green. And then I used neutrals. Your neutrals are your black, brown, white, and gray. So I use neutrals in through there. So you're going to be using colored pencils to add color to your artwork. Now, when you do that, I'm just going to grab a color here. I'm not going to worry about which color it is because I will work with whatever I pick up. So I'm going to take a blue here. So I'm going to go ahead, and when you add color, notice how I'm coloring in. I'm staying nice and neat inside the lines. Now what I want you to notice is look at the difference between the coloring here and the coloring here. Notice that the color here is stronger, and I can kind of see the paper, the white paper, through my color here. This is called opaque. This is called translucent. Translucent means you can see through the color to what's beneath. Opaque means you cannot. So when you're adding color, neatness is key, and making sure your color is nice and opaque is also key. That's what's going to make it bold and stand out. So I'm going to go back in. I'm going to press down a little bit harder on my colored pencil, making sure I'm filling that in. And I would be continuing this blue all the way through here. Let me back up a little bit. All the way through on this line, and that blue would be continuing all the way through over here. And I would do this entire section first. Whatever colors I do next, they would just go right on top of whatever I did below. Okay? If I finish this next here, then when I go to do this, whatever this is will go on top of here, and this would go on top of here. So you'd have a little bit of layering that would happen. So that's how you are going to finish your work. Lastly, and we probably should have done this when we glued this down, make sure you turn your work over and you have your name on the back. And I would suggest doing that as soon as you can. Okay? So that is how you are going to finish this, using your color schemes, colored pencils, nice and neat coloring with opaque colors. Enjoy!